Hey guys, welcome to my Ocean One channel. I want to do a quick video for you today over the 8K. I've read over it a couple times and I'm going to go over that with you. But before I do, let's go ahead and get the YouTube disclaimers out of the way. None of my content constitutes professional advice. Viewers that follow any advice, content, suggestions do so at their own risk. And of course, that's the way that it has to be because you are responsible for your own actions. All right, let's jump right into it. Now, I thought about doing a slide where I bring up the 8K and go over it, and I've decided against that. Now, you're welcome to, bring up the 8K and read it yourself, but I'm really going to focus on just certain parts of the 8K, okay? So just kind of bear with me here. I'm not going to read a lot, okay? I want to go down to where it says closing conditions. And I'm going to read just a little bit here, and then I'm going to sum it up with my thoughts very quickly. So if you would like to bring up the 8K and find exactly where I'm reading from and going over those parts, I'm really going over where it starts with closing conditions. Okay, now I'm going to read just a little bit here because it's a lengthy read, and I'm not going to read all of that. I just want to point out just a few basic things. It says, because what we're concerned about here is how does Fisker get its money from the note holder? How does it get its $150 million? So that's what I'm going over. All right, it says the investor's obligation to fund the first tranche will be subject to various closing conditions, including but not limited to execution of the definitive documentation, and I'm going to skip a bunch of stuff here, okay? I'm just going to hit some verbs. Security interest, payments, delivery, documents being true and correct, no default or event of default under the notes documents, including as a result of the issuance of 2024 notes. Yeah, it goes on for a long way here. I'm going to skip down and read just a little bit more here. Then we get down to the part where it says, provided that the information in such annual report taken as a whole on Form 10K for the fiscal year is not materially inconsistent with the company's announcement dated on January 23rd of 2024, February 29th, 2024, March 18th of 2024, and ongoing negotiations between the company and the large automaker for a potential investment and joint development partnership, continuing at the time of such funding and OEM transaction. Now, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. Okay, so basically what the note holder here is doing is they are spelling out exactly what has to happen for Fisker to get its first set of money. And to sum that up, if I'm using my own personal words here, the note holder is saying, we own you. Yeah, I think that would sum the first part of the note holder's message up rather nicely. We own you. And the only way that you're getting more money is if you do X, 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 Y, 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 Z, Z, Z. These have to be in order. Now, what I want to focus on here is the note holder is a good news, positive news event. Now, I actually did a video over that prior to this, so if you're interested, you might want to check that out. But I'm giving you the nuts and bolts of the 8K here. So after you get fact that the note holder is basically saying, we own you, you can start seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. Now, there is a lot of darkness here, okay? There's a lot of storm clouds here. Basically, the note holder is saying, you are going to have everything in order, everything that we're saying. And the one thing that I like here is the note holder is focusing most of this around the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer partner. So that is very positive in the sense that the note holder seems to believe that there is an OEM deal in the works. That's very positive. Now, the negative here that we need to get out of the way is $150 million at 17 cents. If we were to end up getting diluted at that level, 17 cents, 12 cents, 10 cents, just to get $150 million, we are looking at roughly 1 billion shares by itself. That's bad news. You know, we can look at that any way we want to, but you know, if that keeps the company going, you know, that's good news, bad news. Okay. The second thing that we need to realize here is the note holder is saying, look, you're going to have everything in order for the OEM before we give you more money. Now that's where the second tranche comes in at, and I want to focus on that next. So let's say, you know, let's assume that Fisker gets everything squared away here, including the 10K, you know, everything looks good, and the note holder agrees to give the first round of money. Okay, let's focus on what comes after that. So this is the second tranche. So I'm going to read part of this, then I'm going to give my thoughts. This is going down to part B of the 8K. For purposes of the second additional tranche, delivery by the company of executive definitive documents for an OEM transaction. Okay, we can pretty much stop right there. That means that it's a done deal. If we get money from the second tranche here, an OEM deal it's done. It's a done deal. It should be public. You know, we would know about it, and hopefully the share price would react and rise rather dramatically from that. And what that would do is that would prevent, you know, severe dilution at these levels. Fisker, in my opinion, currently doesn't have enough authorized shares to get through much, you know, beyond this 150 million. If we have to go the route, you know, of getting diluted at a very small share price. So if we can get the OEM partner, if we can get that, then we will be looking at probably potentially, you know, a much higher share price, and maybe that comes with a cash infusion. Maybe we don't need the additional money. You know, we would have to see how Fisker and the note holder work that out. I'm not entirely sure how that would work out, but this is rather positive, because if you look at this from the note holder's standpoint and Fisker's standpoint, the note holder is saying, look, we know you're working with an OEM. We understand that. You get a deal, you're good to go. You don't get a deal, we own you. And that's where Fisker is. Fisker is in a very tough box. So as investors, you know, what we want to see and what we need to look for is the first round getting approved. And then the second round, when the second round gets approved, the way I'm reading the 8K, and I reached out to a friend to make sure that I'm reading this right, and he agreed. That would mean that it's a done deal for the OEM partner. And I think if that happens, then you're going to start seeing a very different Fisker. You're going to see, you know, a lot of headlines, you know, Fisker saved, you know, whatever, however we want to word that. You're going to see dealers signing up, and we can go through that transition, and we should get through this, you know, by the skin of our teeth, you know, if you will. Hopefully you found that useful, because I find it very useful to realize that the note holder is saying, in a very positive way actually, even though, you know, they're potentially going to dilute the daylights out of us, they're saying, you know, the OEM deal looks real to us, make it happen, and that's a good day. Now, I could go on and read more of that, you know, and go through the third one and stuff like that, but I really don't find that terribly important right now. I think Fisker is at a crossroads in the sense that, you know, we either get an OEM or we're done as we know Fisker. That would be, you know, bad. Hopefully, you know, we're not talking Chapter 7, because if that were to happen, you know, Fisker's done. You know, throw our brick in the window, we're done. If it's Chapter 11, then, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world. You know, we might come through that okay. But what we should really look for here as investors and as customers of the company, we probably really want to simply look for the OEM. And I think if you read the 8K and you read it carefully like I have here, I think it gives very, very strong plausibility that there is a real OEM partner out there, that a deal is in the works, And, you know, we just have to wait whatever amount of time that is. I don't know how long that is, okay? I would consider this a bridge loan, you know, to get us through to that point. The only other way out of this, really, beyond what I've already spoke about here, would be to dramatically increase sales. Now, one thing that I was disappointed in is I went to the website last night and I looked at inventory. Now, I rarely ever go to the website, and I hardly ever look at inventory, okay? You know, to go there, you know, to build, you know, stuff like that. I already have an Ocean. Why would I do that? But what I noticed in the inventory is when you're looking at those prices, you know, the $7,500 discount is not reflected in those prices. Fisker would be wise to update that website to, you know, have that discount front and center on each price, you know, and make it very clear, you know, that is part of the deal. So just, you know, just throwing that in there at the very end, just in case someone from Fisker actually watches my videos, however likely or unlikely that may be. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're enjoying my content. And if you are, just, you know, hit the like button. My number one concern is to get out accurate information for the company and the product. All right, guys, thanks a lot. And until next time.